friends, we highly recommend subscribing to our second channel, Wwii Metal Detecting. There you will also find fascinating videos about World War II discoveries, as well as a content focused on military vehicles and weapons. The link to the second channel is in description. Armored boat BK-31. BK-31 was raised from the bottom of the Volga River in November 2017. It took almost 2 years to restore it. All restoration work was carried out by specialists from the Military Historical Museum Heritage. The armored boat BK-31, as part of the Volga military flotilla, took part in the defense of Stalingrad in the summer and autumn of 1942. The boat was hit by German artillery using captured Soviet Z-3 guns near Golodny Island and later sank. It lay at the bottom of the Volga for 75 years, buried in sand, until it was discovered by divers in modern times. In one of the irrecoverable lost reports, 2 commanders of BK-31 are mentioned: Pavel Nikitin, killed on October 9, 1942, and Alexander Sherbakov, wounded on September 25, 1942. As it turned out, the original commander Sherbakov had been wounded in another battle before the loss of the boat and was in a hospital at the time. After recovery, he returned to duty and served throughout the war in the Volga military flotilla. Pavel Nikitin was appointed commander of BK-31 and led the boat for only 2 weeks. He was killed on October 9, 1942. The 20-year-old commander Pavel Nikitin was from the Saratov region. His remains were found in the wheelhouse of BK-31, where he died while commanding the vessel. With him were a pair of binoculars, a belt, a Nagant revolver, as well as a TT pistol hidden under the threshold of the wheelhouse, and other personal items that helped identify him. In his book, In the Hull of Stalingrad, former artilleryman Vigant Vusta briefly described the sinking of BK-31. "My 2 Russian guns on the Volga earned a good score. Almost every day at sunset, the Russians sent a gunboat down the river equipped with 2 T-34 turrets to quickly shell our positions. Although it didn't cause much damage, it was a constant nuisance," writes Vusta. "My artilleryman fired at it many times. This time we had zeroed in on a specific point through which the boat always passed. That day the vessel reached that point. Both guns opened fire simultaneously and hit it. The damaged boat stopped near a Volga island and managed to return fire. Our guns responded immediately. The boat quickly sank." The commander of the battery that allegedly sank the Soviet armored boat later painted a watercolor depicting one of the guns that fired at a BK-31. The inscription on the painting reads, "Russian 76.2mm gun, Raj boom, just like German pack, 15 rounds per minute." Simple but perfect. However, German artilleryman Vusta, whose battery supposedly hit the boat, writes that the vessel had 2 turrets, while BK-31, built according to Project S-40, had only T-34 turret. It is likely that different armored boats passed through that section of the river. But on that fateful day, it was BK-31 that was destined to be lost. Searchers claim that about 260 different vessels sunk during the defense of Stalingrad lie at the bottom of the Volga near modern Volgograd. According to official reports, BK-31 did not sink immediately, but ran aground, allowing part of the crew and landing troops to evacuate. The armored boat was found at a depth of 7 meters. The crew consisted of 13 people, along with an unknown number of landing troops, who were to disembark and defend the city. The bodies of 11 people were found in the boat. Not all of them were crew members. A large amount of weapons and ammunition was also discovered. Documents found on board provided information about the fallen sailors. Reports stated the commander was killed, 5 were wounded. Another report listed 4 killed, including the commander. Most likely, among the 11 bodies found were landing troops or wounded Red Army soldiers. According to military prosecutor records, Civilians were also present on the boat. 3 crew members of BK-31 are known to have survived the events of October 9 and 10. They were arrested and, on October 12, executed in front of the formation for abandoning the boat and failing to attempt to save it. The military prosecutor stated, "During enemy shelling, they fled and led the rest of the crew away, leaving wounded soldiers on board. From the list of the special personnel, only 3 crew members of BK-31 were executed. Most others who were found guilty, even those sentenced to death, were instead sent to penal battalions. It is difficult to judge the fairness of such decisions decades later, as wartime sentences were often delivered swiftly. But what was found on the boat during its clearing from silt and sand before restoration? Over the years, strong currents had filled the boat's compartments with silt, which helped preserve weapons and personal belongings of sailors and infantry in excellent condition. 13 rifles were found, including one with a scope and one Tokarev SVT-40 semi-automatic rifle. There were also 9 PPSH submachine guns, a DT tank machine gun recovered from the turret, dozens of grenades, and about 150 shells. Numerous personal belongings were also found, which made it possible to identify several crew members previously listed as missing in action. School textbooks were also discovered, indirectly supporting the version that civilians, including children, were being evacuated from the city aboard BK-31. Today, the armored boat is displayed in a closed glass pavilion on the embankment in Volgograd, commemorating the heroic defense of the city against the Nazis. After the full reconstruction of the embankment, it is planned to open access to the pavilion where the BK-31 is located. For now, it is best visited at night due to its incredibly beautiful lighting, which allows you to see it in detail. Thank you all for watching, friends. You can support our channel by sending a super thanks of any amount or becoming a sponsor starting from just $1. Good luck to everyone!